That's life.
That's life.
That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life.
That's life.
And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life.
Welcome to Greece, Kefalonia to be precise, one of the little Greek islands, and I'm here with a family enjoying some downtime from the rainy England, other than the fact that it's actually hotter in England right now, but you don't get the nice view, do you? So Greece is awesome for that. So we're just enjoying some time. I'm also here to get some cool content for my new ecom brand, which is a digital product which we're currently building. We've just smashed our revenue goal for the month, which I'm really happy about. And hopefully now, with all this new content that I'm filming, all the new ads that I'm making, I filmed about 20 to 30 different ads that I can test. We're going to be able to scale this up to a really big level, which I'm buzzing about. So the best thing about this business is it's fully digital, which is awesome. In the past, my ecom brands have always been physical products, and I think, you know, that's where perhaps we should all start, because that's where we learn the mechanisms, the strategies, the, you know, sourcing from suppliers, dealing with shipping, dealing with the holding that stock. But there comes a time where you realize that there's a lot of headaches with stuff like that, right? There's a lot of stress and a lot of moving parts that you need to manage. So with a digital brand, you don't have stock, you don't have shipping, you don't have to deal with suppliers from China. The customer orders and they can just download the product instantly, which is awesome because you don't need to have any physical location. You can work from anywhere in the world. You just need a good website, high converting website, and good social media content, good ads, and good customer service. And if you've got a good product to go along with that, then you've got a fantastic brand that you can build. So that's what we're doing. And because this brand is in the cinematic niche, it's something I'm really passionate about, which I always bang on about this. You know, it's not for everyone, and you don't need to be passionate about a business to be able to grow a business, obviously. But in my experience, if you can wake up every day and if you can enjoy the stuff that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, then it makes it that much easier, because there will be hard times. And if you're motivated, if you're passionate about it, then those hard times are not going to be as hard as if you was in a business where you didn't really enjoy the product or the customer. And this was the same as one of my old businesses. So I had a pet brand before, and we still run it now, but it got to the point where I just wasn't passionate about growing it. And I think when we started to get hard times with profit margins and things like that, and dealing with the stock and the supplier issues, especially with the war going on and dealing with getting all that over here, I just started to not enjoy it much, because there's just a lot of headaches. There's a lot of things to go wrong. And, you know, I'm not massively into dogs. I am, but not selling dog harnesses. It's a very female dominated industry. And I think it just didn't align with me very well. So that's why this new brand that we're building, it just makes me super excited to push it and, fired up every single day to overcome these bottlenecks that we are very likely going to come against. So yeah, like I said, we're here for a week, just shooting loads of content, enjoying some downtime, tan maxing, having a few too many beers in the sun, which is what it's all about, right? And yeah, I'm going to start doing more stuff like this, because with a digital product ecom brand, the whole business is basically me just going on holidays and just filming loads of content. Like, what perfect business is like that? Like, it's just incredible, isn't it? So that's what I want to do more of this year and next year as well, and just try and force myself to go and explore new places, because I love going to places I haven't been before and exploring them and learning about the culture, learning about the locals, and navigating around the island. Like this Kefalonia, for example, we've hired a quad bike for the week, and I love just riding around the mountains, going to different beaches, exploring different towns and villages, and that to me is like the most enjoyment I get out of the holiday. So I don't like to go back to the same place too much, because you don't really get to explore as much unless it's a very big island or a very big country. And then, it's just nice to go and explore different places, isn't it? So, and it's, running a brand like this, it's another excuse to go away, because we can put it all through the business. So, yeah, just nice to have some downtime as well and see family, which I don't get to see as much. And while I've been here as well, I've also been reading this book by Mel Robbins. You might have heard of it. It's called Let Them. So this is her theory on basically being able to control things that are within your control, and not letting things outside of your control dictate your emotions, dictate your stress, which I think a lot of us fall into the trap of, including myself, where we, perhaps like the weather, for example. It's easy to let the weather affect your mood, but it's not in your control. You cannot do anything about the fact that it's possibly raining today. It's stormy, it's windy, and it affects your mindset, your mood. And I think that's a perfect example, because we can't control that. So we just need to have the mindset of letting things happen. And it's similar to one of the examples she used in the book was, she had a group of friends, and she went on Facebook and she noticed that all of her friends, these were friends from her local town, they did like school drops together, they did dinners together, holidays in the past. And she saw them all on holiday, and she never got the invite. And I think in the moment that would make you feel really jealous. You would resent them, you would feel a bit stressed and worried, and that would probably affect your mood for the day or even perhaps the week, right? And this has happened to me before, where you see people that you thought that were your friends, and perhaps you don't get invited, you don't get to go, and it makes you feel like you weren't as close as you thought you was. Hang on, there's just a plane. Sounds like there's a plane taking off. So what she was explaining about that scenario was, it's easy to get stressed about it. It's easy to let that affect your mood. But in reality, there's usually a deeper reason for why that's happening. And it's most likely because, like Mel explained, that she had been working really hard. She'd been busy building the businesses, and she had been neglecting her relationships, been neglecting the friendships, and hasn't made time to message them, see them recently. And as a result, those relationships start to fizzle out, because if you're not keeping in contact with people, then you can't expect to be invited to a group holiday. And this is oh my god, it's really loud plane. Jesus. So, trying to film a video and there's a plane taking off. Where was I? So, she's got this other part of the theory, and this is about not just letting them, but letting me. And this is where we can control things. So, back to that scenario about the friends going out for dinner and not being invited, or going on holiday, or whatever it was. You are in a position where you can control those relationships. If you wanted to be invited out for dinner, well, you can control whether you meet up with these people, you send them a text inviting them to come and see you, or organising things. And I think that's quite important. And this is something that I struggle with. You know, I've neglected a lot of relationships because where I've been trying to be so tunnel vision to build these businesses, I've perhaps put a lot of things on the back burner. And as a result, you know, some relationships have fizzled out. I don't see my friends as much anymore. And my circle has got a lot smaller because I just don't have time. Well, I haven't made time to see these people. And as a result, this is why they're fizzling out. So if they went on holiday, I can't get jealous about that. I can't get annoyed about that because a lot of it is my fault. I haven't made the effort to send that text message or to reach out and to make an effort. So I think that's something that I took away from that book that was quite eye-opening. You know, I'm very good at the whole let them theory. This is something I've been applying in my own life for many years now. I don't let things affect me as much because I'm very good at blocking things out and, you know, just staying in my own lane and not letting external things that I can't control affect my mindset and my mood. And the thing I do struggle with, however, is maybe not taking responsibility, not taking ownership for the things that I can control. So going forwards, I'm going to try and do a little bit more, try and make a more of a conscious effort to, you know, rekindle certain relationships and control the narrative where I can. So anyway, it's a really good book. I'd recommend reading it if you are someone who perhaps gets stressed easy or your mindset gets affected by things that you can't control. Give it a read and I promise you it will help you fix some things in your life and help you stay more tunnel visioned on the goals that you want to focus on, help you build these businesses, help you improve your life one way or another, whether you want to improve the business aspect of things or maybe you want to improve the relationships or maybe other aspects in your life. Give it a read, guys, and like I said, I promise that it will help you. So anyway, I'm going to get back to tanning because that's what I do best, and I'm going to have a few drinks by the pool and shoot some more content and enjoy the rest of my holiday. But if you haven't already, guys, please subscribe because I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to create really good videos and it's all a process. I'm learning as I go. I love being creative. I love doing stuff like this. And I would love to do more stuff like this because it's just fun, isn't it? Like what better job is there in the world where you can just create content, you can make a living from it, you can build brands that you're passionate about, and you know, you can just enjoy life. Like this, you know, I always talk about leaving the 9 to 5 and the 9 to 5 being a scam, and I think it is because the world is very different now. We have these opportunities, so let's take advantage of them. We have the ability in our generation to make money online, really doing whatever you want. You can monetize any skill or hobby or passion. And this is what I'm really passionate about, is showing people how they can do this. So you may be aware of my community. I've got a free community. I've also got a paid community. Get yourself inside one of them. I'll put the link in the description and you can start learning how you can do this in your own life, how you can start building these businesses, how you can start generating an income and working towards escaping the 9 to 5, quitting that job and going full time with a business that you love doing every single day. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.